Welcome everybody to the channel. So we're going to take a look today at Act 6.3.1. This one is a fairly straightforward one, especially if you have the right champions for it. I did struggle a little bit on the Blackbolt fight. We'll talk about that here in a minute, and made a couple mistakes. But this is still one that, to be honest with you, you can go through it with a lot less effort than what I put into it. But let's go ahead and look at it, see what I went with and everything. Right off the bat here, the team I have put together is Quake, Nick Fury, Immortal Hulk, OG Hulk, and then the Overseer. Quake is pretty much just in for the Blackbolt fight, and Nick Fury is in for the boss fight, Medusa. The other three are actually in for a synergy for the path that we're going to take. Let's go ahead and get in and take a look at the path. Starts off with Diablo. The biggest things about the nodes for this path is the Delirium and the Dismay. So Delirium, whenever you dash back to dodge, you trigger inverted controls. Now this is why I brought in the synergy with Overseer. I brought in OG Hulk because he had just had the buff and I wasn't quite for sure how good he had gotten. So I wanted to go ahead and bring me in a backup, and I brought in Immortal Hulk. Could have ended up just bringing in one or the other with the Overseer, and then going from there. Some other options that you can look at for avoiding the mind control on that path are champions, like I said, first off, Hulk, Immortal Hulk, Hulk Ragnarok, or Joe Fixit with the Overseer synergy all have immunity to inverted controls. Also, you can look at Professor X, Wiccan, or Emma Frost as champions to go up against that path as well. Even more so, the reason why I went with the Hulk synergy is because this entire path is Mystic champions. So why not take in champions that not only have the immunity but also have class advantage? And that was my thought process on this. The other part of the path node is Dismay. Whenever you lose your highest hit combo, you start taking direct damage equal to 10 times whatever the number on your combo was. Now, like I said, the first champion here is Diablo. He does also have increased potencies on his potions. So, those can have an effect on things, but for the most part, these are all pretty straightforward fights. There's not a lot to worry about on most of the nodes on this path, as long as you can get around the inverted controls. So we take a look at Guillotine here real quick, and she is the only one on the path that does not have a different extra bonus node to her. She just has the path nodes on that, so she's pretty straightforward as well, as long as you can avoid the inverted controls. Though most of the champions, even with their extra bonuses, really aren't that difficult to get through, especially if you do, again, the immunity to the inverted controls, and you bring in a good counter to them anyways. Like I said, with the rework on Hulk, he is absolutely cake for this. I made some mistakes, but at the same time too, if you can get the special one stun juggle going, basically what you do is you get up to a special one, get about halfway to a second special one, and then go ahead and hit with the special one so that you can immediately stun anybody, do the start your combo, get built back up to another special one, turn around, and right as the stun is about to expire, special one again, re-triggering the stun over again, rinse and repeat until they go down. So we'll take a look at Loki here. He also has the Mighty Charge, which makes it so he becomes unblockable and purifies any debuffs if he goes to use a medium. So watch his medium attacks and watch his SP2s. Also, keep in mind, one of the things I do love about Loki, but is something to watch out for, is his special one does buff steal. So if you're using champions with lots of buffs on them that require those buffs, be careful. Loki can take them. Then after the Loki fight, we end up with the Hood fight. Hood also has Mesmerize on it, which increases his chance to evade. And if he evades you, he has an increased chance of leaving you stunned. After that, we're going to go over to the Symbiote Supreme fight. He has increased attack and combat power for each debuff on him. So again, watch how many debuffs that you're stacking on him, because that can actually end up hurting you more than helping. After that, we go over to the Scarlet Witch fight. She has increased power gains, so she's triggering her specials left and right. That one can be a pain if she gets the right things. Obviously, she has that chaos magic to her, so some of her effects are great, some of them are absolutely horrible. So you kind of got to watch and see. If the quicker you can get through this fight, the better off you are. And honestly, if you can keep her stunned, like I said, the way Hulk does, you can actually get through this fairly easy. The next fight is the Morning Star fight. Morning Star gains soul charges for every time she hits into your block. So you got to watch that. Do some evade as much as you can, or keep her stunned, and go ahead and get through there. Also, nice to have a bleed immune if you want to for that. Again, like I said, I could have opened up an extra spot to possibly look at something different in that 4 spot, because Hulk did the work. Immortal Hulk, I brought him in for a couple ones, just not to immediately revive. Then we go over to the Blackbolt fight. Now, this one gave me a bit of pain because number one, I didn't stick to my plan nearly as much, but he's got some really intense nodes on him that you have to make sure that you know how you're using them. The biggest one is the life cycle node. What that does is you need to knock him down to take down his shield before you can actually do a finishing blow on him. The thing about it is the timer on that starts at less than half a second, but you can increase that up to a total of 3.5 seconds that shield goes down for, if you knock him down 7 times total throughout the fight, or 7 times right before you do your finishing blow. But you need that shield down before you do the finishing blow. Otherwise, not only will he not go down, but he will also regenerate his health back up. So you want to watch out for that. The other thing to keep in mind too is, do not use a champion that has health reversal on it, because actually that ends up turning around and benefits him. He actually ends up getting power gain, and also is able to regenerate still. So you want to make sure not to bring in like a void for that. Now, like I said, the biggest thing is getting those knockdowns throughout the fight. That's where I struggled. But the thing about it is, that's also why I brought in Quake, because to be truthful with you, if you can go ahead, not only obviously Quake and Bake throughout the fight, but then while you off the charges and off your SP1s, charging your heavy or the SP1, you can actually turn around and get multiple back-to-back knockdowns off of him as he's rushing in. You just got to watch out on his SP1. It is really hard to evade when you're charging. So that one has been known to take me out a few times. But we'll talk about that one towards the end, and believe me, it's a little comical in a way, but you guys can do it better than I did. Trust me on that. So, and then we finally, after he also has the Lionheart, which is what I was talking about. Don't bring in the reverse champions. Finally, we go over here to the Medusa fight. Now, this one, she has the Do You Bleed as well as buffet, fury, and explosive personality. So the biggest things there is, first off, she can only take damage from bleed. Everything else, she 100% nullifies all damage. So you really need to make sure that you're bringing in a high bleed champion, which is why I brought in Nick Fury. Obviously, I can stack bleeds with him fairly easily, and being my top champion, and as well as having the synergy with Quake, gives him a huge advantage for this fight. If I had stuck to my plan from the get-go, again, this would have been a quick, easy, straightforward fight, and is exactly that if you do what I'm suggesting and not what I do. She also has the ability to nullify all buffs and gains regen whenever she does so. So watch how many buffs you're getting on yourself. That's another reason why, like a Wolverine, even though he has high bleed damage, he also gains a lot of regen, and she's just going to nullify and then regen herself off of that. So you want either you need to be doing the damage extremely fast and getting those bleeds stacked up quickly so that you can counter her, or you're going to have to be careful and not bring in somebody that's going to stack up their own buffs too much. Also, on top of that, with the explosive personality, you have to keep in mind that every blocked hit earns an armor up buff for you. But if you hit 5 of those, you will then turn around and have them explode on you, and you will take a 25% of your maximum health as direct damage. You can get rid of those with a heavy, so be very aware of that while you're trying to get those bleeds on there, making sure that you're timing her well, getting the bleeds on there. And you have to be really careful anyways with Medusa, because she has some amazing evade ability. You also want to avoid bringing in robot champions. She's even more buffed up against them. But there are a lot of really good bleed options. Like I said, obviously I went with Nick Fury. Probably one of the better choices in my opinion. So let's go ahead and get into it and take a look at how this went. We're going to go ahead and speed up some of the gameplay towards the end, because some of these were really straightforward and really easy, but some of them were really bad. Right off the bat here, we get into the Diablo fight. This one, it's been a while since I've used Hulk on a regular basis. I used to love to use him back in the day. I had some amazing Alliance members back when we were consistently map 4 before map 5 even came out, that absolutely loved running Hulk and before a lot of things changed in the game. And now you can see there where I'm talking about if I'd had another special one built up when towards the end of that stun. But again, it's been a while since I'd used him, so I was kind of getting back in with the character. Plus, on top of that, I hadn't used him since the rework, obviously. So, like I said, if you can have most of your next special bar in place before you do the special one, just like I'm doing here, get in there, pound on him, get up to see if I hadn't jumped back there. I could have immediately went directly into the SP1. But of course, muscle memory, things like that. And you can see just straightforward, just annihilated. Guillotine here is another straightforward fight. Like I said, the only things to worry about is the being careful on losing high hit combos, as well as making sure that you have somebody that is immune to the inverted controls is actually your biggest thing on this path. You can see there again, lost a little bit of health, but not much. Still fairly easy, straightforward fight. The magic fight, you do have to watch out for her limbo, obviously. So you want to time some of your stuff a little carefully, but at the same time, again, you can kind of get her pinned back into the corner, stun her, and just beat on her. That is pretty much the theme of this entire path for me. Didn't quite go as smoothly on this one because I let her get up to the special 3 there, and or I guess I took that back. I let her get into the special 2, and we took some degen damage, and then she was able to finish us off. I believe. Okay, this is where I made my first mistake of the level. I brought in Quake just because, hey, Quake's a perfect counter if you aren't dealing with inverted controls. Obviously, if you're dealing with inverted controls, uh, doing Quake and baking doesn't work as easily because the muscle memory is is way off on it. So we ended up bringing in Immortal Hulk because, of course, he actually does have the immunity to the inverted controls, and he was my backup idea anyways. I knew I could go ahead and do quite a bit with him, even with mine not necessarily being awakened to give him the full advantage. But at the same time, I've worked with him recently, done a few things. I knew I could get through these fights. And I'm not going to say this went perfectly, but as you can see here, one of the mistakes I made there was getting up in as she had the limo active, so pretty much wasted all of the attack there outside of getting the SP1 built back up, which does help. Now we got off of her just so that limo could take down and get back in there and finish her off. Now we're going to go over here to the Loki fight. Obviously, I haven't revived anybody at this point, so so figure we'll go ahead and take Immortal Hulk in to get as much as he can before we do the revive, because I want to make sure that I'm catching as many people as possible, especially knowing that I'm going to have to bring Quake back because she is. I used her at the completely wrong time and wasted why she was supposed to be in here, so I have to have her back in for Blackbolt. Now, we did, like I said, we did go in fairly wounded into this Loki fight, and this isn't going to be pretty because, of course, we're going to take a decent amount of damage here, but this is going to trigger our immortality and unstoppable, so we're going to go in here and just beat on him and get most of it done. Wasn't the cleanest, but at the same time, really honestly, it wasn't that bad. We revived back up, brought in Hulk to play a little bit of the Puny God game. And here we go, just absolutely sticking to our plan. Got a little more aggressive than I probably should have, just knowing that he has the buff steals and everything else. So I really should have caught him a little better on this one. Did get myself up to the SP1 and about halfway to the SP2 here. So just looking for my opening so I can go ahead and launch that SP1. And here we go. That's the end. Now on to the hood fight. Of course, you got to watch him going invisible because it does make things a little bit more of a pain. Also, on top of that, obviously, like I said, you got to watch that evade because the chance of getting stunned on that. We do have a few degens going. It's not going smoothly right off the bat. As a matter of fact, he comes pretty close to taking me out right away. But we turn around and, at least get some damage in on him and go down off of the degen. So went ahead and revived back up and came back in healthy on this. I probably should have healed up after the Loki fight. Really honestly wouldn't have needed it if I would have stuck to the plan right off the bat and had things going smoothly. So, but all in all, we even with the repeated stuns, some of the damage, uh, made the mistake on that one of not getting of letting him build me all the way up to SP2, but still the SP2 is so powerful. So, and here we go into the Symbiote Supreme fight. That one, this one is, again, didn't bother to heal up beforehand. Decided we'd see if we couldn't go ahead and get the stun juggle going and get through this. I kind of got a little excited. I got giddy that I could use Hulk the way I was able to in the past again, and have him be really as powerful as he should be. It's a lot of fun. I commend Kabam on the rework on this kit. It has brought Hulk back into relevance, in my opinion. Especially when you have the Overseer synergy for any of those type of fights. Just did the quick revive here and back in to finish out the fight. We got pretty close off of that first one, and I could have healed up all the way and guaranteed that we were going to walk through him and the rest of the path without a problem, and probably should have. But at the same time, it is important to keep in mind that Hulk does get more powerful towards the end of the fight anyways, and that's part of the reason why we decided not to heal up fully. So, knew the Scarlet Witch fight could be a gambit here. Obviously, we've got quite a bit that we can go through here. She's going to build up those specials so quickly, but it's about whether or not I can keep my juggle going here. And obviously, we didn't time it quite right off the first one. We were getting a little too close to the SP3 there, so I wanted to get in there and finish her off before she had a chance of triggering that. Was able to walk through her fairly easily, considering what that fight could have been. And now we're going to go over here to the Morningstar fight. This one you don't have to worry about nearly as much. Obviously, like I said, she does gain soul charges off of hitting into your block. So if you can make sure that you're evading more of her hits as opposed to blocking, you can really kind of keep her grounded some. Again, we got up to a bar and a half, triggered the special one, got in there, pummeled out the 5-hit combo, trigger another special one right off the second combo, and finish the fight. Pretty well straightforward. Obviously, we let the stun go off of that second one, so we had to let the block go, but then we got in there and finished her. There just wasn't enough left for her to do anything with us. Now, the Blackbolt fight here, there was absolutely no reason why I should have brought in Nick Fury. He was not part of this plan. I right off the bat, what I was thinking here was I'd go ahead and get him to the true Nick Fury before the Medusa fight, and that would make things better. But to be truthful with you, I should have just stuck with Quake the whole way. Not that that is going to go nearly as good as it should have for me, but there was far too many mess ups on this. As a matter of fact, after Blackbolt finishes me here, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and speed this up, because this fight took way too much. It should have been a one and done with Quake, 100%, and I had absolutely no reason to mess up nearly as much as I did. But let's laugh at me a little bit and see how badly it actually finishes off. Part of it, too, is I know that when I did bring in Quake, I wasn't getting nearly the amount of damage that I was expecting to get right off the bat. So then I went over to Quake, who, of course, I came in with her wounded, which was a horrible mistake to start off with. And then expected I was going to get the damage I wanted, and I didn't. So I thought, okay, let's bring in Hulk, go ahead and get the damage down, get him most of the way through, and that didn't go. So let's go ahead and toss Quake back in here, but bring her back up to health. Now, we did get a little more done here, and it didn't go quite as bad as I was thinking right off the bat. But of course, again, I let that SP1 throw me off and turned around and went back in. Then I brought in Nick Fury again, figuring, okay, well, we'll just get the damage down and then we'll get to the end of the fight. Again, messed up. Just wasn't sticking to my own plan. And I'm totally wasting potions and revives here. I will 100% admit it. Sticking to the plan with Quake so that I could guarantee that I could get him down. Now, another good option on this that we could have went with would have been to bring in Corvus, because of course he has great ability to knock down. But I wanted to stick with Quake because honestly, she's more consistent even than Corvus is, in my opinion. I mean, you can get the knockdowns off the heavies or the SP1s. So after we diverted from the plan, we finally got back on track here and started bringing Quake back in. I healed all the way up with Quake right off the bat and got caught on that SP1. He got a little aggressive the first time I came back in with Quake trying to get that plan on. So we healed all the way back up again. You can see here, 2 right off the bat, a third one quickly. There's the 4th knockdown, so we've got most of that shield timer built up. Went to try and build it again and got caught. We'll do it again here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're at the perfect time. We just hit that 7th, and unfortunately we let him build that SP2, and we were already in the corner, so there was nowhere to go on that. So we healed up again and went back in. 1, 2. Got caught. 3, 4, 5. Almost got him down. 6. And again got caught by the SP1 because we were in the special. We were in the corner and just couldn't get there. 2, 3, 4. And we were able to get him down. See, it doesn't have to be the full 7, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you're getting as much of that timer up as you can, because the lower that timer is, the better chance that you have of getting that finishing blow off. So like I said, the ideal number to do is 7 knockdowns throughout a single fight. This can be done in a single fight, especially with Quake, especially with a little better game, a little bit better play than what I did here. So then we went on to the Medusa fight. I did switch out Quake for Blade, knowing that she couldn't do anything in the fight anyways. Probably, I was hoping to get a lot more bleed out of him than I was getting, and he really wasn't the best option, to be truthful with you. So that was kind of a waste. I already had Nick Fury in. Should have just went with him from the get-go. Now, obviously, if I hadn't screwed up and used him early on in the Blackbolt fight, we would have had the LMD in place. And that would have given us ability to get a lot more bleed in on her and do this in a single run. Now, of course, since we were already down to the true Nick Fury, we got quite a bit off of her because we were able to do such high damage off of the bleed. But we weren't able to get her down in a single go. We did have to come back in, got most of the bleed off there, and then one more revive to finish it off. This could have easily been done on a single go if we had brought him in fresh 100%. But we did finish the level. Like I said, not the cleanest gameplay we've ever done, and a lot more struggles than we needed to have there. But at the same time, we got it done, guys, and we will be continuing on. We'll have 6.3.2 out tomorrow, Make sure you guys keep following and liking on these videos. I absolutely appreciate all the new subscribers, all the current subscribers. We did get the new alliance started, so that is available for people who have subscribed to the channel. If you're interested in that, either leave a comment in the video, or more preferably reach out to me on line chat at wolfdt269. That is the same as the backup account. Once again, online chat, it's wolfdt269. So if you're interested, reach out and we'll get you in that channel alliance. And I will see everybody back for the next one. Peace out.